This is a very special episode of the show. How you doing tonight, Kalen?
Oh man, I'm super swell right now, and you know who I have to thank for that? I'm not sure
Marijuana?
if who. I'm not sure if who is the right word to use in that question. Yeah, boy, my man, Dan from
Prep, prep,
Cap.
prep, 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 prep.
Canadian Club whiskey in a 7-Up bottle.
That's the classiest way to drink it, I'd say.
Well, guess what? I have two other ways coming up afterwards.
You have two more what?
Two more ways to drink it.
Oh shit! It's gonna be big time up in here. I'm drinking on a Nickelbrick Headstock, the greatest beer ever created.
I think James
Uh,
has something else to say about that. Greatest beer ever created? I don't know.
Hands down. I'm in Toronto though. Halifax's craft beer selection was inferior to Toronto's when I lived there, but I understand now there's Good Robot and Propeller's been stepping up their game, and I know all about those, but I can't be there to test them. I only know what I know from here in Toronto, and I know that Nickelbrick headstock. Not a not a not a sponsor of the show, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Caitlin, why don't you tell the audience the name of the show and what we're doing, what movie we're doing today?
Hey, did you see this one? Is that the running is that
I,
the running name we're going
I
with?
think I think so. Hey, did you see this
Hey,
one?
did you see this one? So welcome
And that,
everybody in internet land, Instagram land, maybe in the future because maybe you're not watching this right now. You're watching this now later instead of now. But today we are doing a live movie review for Spree.
yes.
Now, Jace Man, I didn't know about this movie until you brought it up. I don't know what it was released through, or I'm not gonna lie, I was a pirate and downloaded it. Um,
I found out the answer to that today, actually. I recommended it to a coworker, and she went looking for it. I was like, it's probably somewhere, and it turns out you can rent it on YouTube for $5.
rent. I'm not renting shit on YouTube. I go to YouTube to watch free shit. I don't go
Fair
to
enough.
YouTube to give them money. My
Absolutely,
internet bill is their money. That is it. That's my
that's true.
agreement.
I've I've flirted with the idea of paying for Netflix Premium, or sorry, YouTube Premium, just because the fucking ads have gotten out of control. But the thing is
Two
like,
seconds. Two
whatever.
seconds, and you can skip it. I'm okay with 2 seconds.
What about two back to back unskippable 30-second ads though? Like it's fucking television.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. Actually, you know what I will tell you? I have a few shows on DVD, like series or whatever on DVD, and there's something about watching a show on TV with commercials as opposed to watching a show just like straight through because it wasn't built that way, right? It
Right.
was built to have breaks, right? And it just, I mean, commercials, you're trying to sell you shit and they need to make money or whatever, blah blah blah. I get it, but it also adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi.
Look, I will agree with you there. The couple of before pandemic, obviously, the couple of times a year I go to my dad's, or the once every couple of years I go see my mom, or if I'm somewhere where it's not really a like, have you ever gone and like stayed at a friend's house overnight, and then the next day you're just on the couch with them, and you're just channel surfing, and you're kind of hungover, and you're not really
Way
that
back, yeah, way back.
way back when, right?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of experiences with television I still have in my life. Well, not so much the last one because I'm married and we select all the shows we're going to watch. Sometimes the two of us will go pre-pandemic, obviously. We'll go
Corey,
to
do
a
you
friend.
have to go to bed because you have to go to bed, or do you have to go to bed because you're no longer engaged in our conversation?
He made it 3 seconds, so that's all I can ask. Um,
Sorry, I interrupted you.
so
This
yeah,
is
no,
gonna be a
I'm
wild
just,
episode. I'm telling you right now, Jace man,
I'm just
wild episode.
well. let's keep on topic for the hour, and then we'll do a post show if we need to. I got everything done I needed to do for tonight. So if you want to just have some drinks after, and get into some more some less on topic stuff, excellent. I would like to immediately start talking about this movie because there's a lot. It's
So much
the
fun.
perfect. It's so much fun. It's the perfect movie for literally this podcast because we're trying to build our viewers. We're trying to build our followers. I would actually say that we might be at the point where we should make a separate account that we both have access to.
Like a specific, hey, did you see this one? Account?
Yeah, and start promoting it. And also, I have the idea that I'm pretty sure I can rip video and images from Instagram, and I have a YouTube page that I use for Blossom Buddies, my other podcast, and I could start posting these on there.
Well,
so then you could be like
cross referencing.
Yeah, so you could tell somebody to go to YouTube. And it's a URL. It's not just a bunch of letters. I have enough followers on YouTube that I was able to name the channel. So it's called Blossom Buddies Home Video. But we're about to finish the final season, so we're going to be going through a rebrand. This is off camera talk.
Blossom Buddies podcast. Plug. Little. What's it called when it's a selfish plug?
Shameless plug.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait, you're plugging me. So wait, what? That didn't come out right. Anyway, on that note, the movie we're doing this week, we've been much more frequent, which I like, but the movie we're doing, of course, as Kaylin said, is called Spree. Spree.
What a trip! What a journey!
Is interesting.
What a ride! What a ride, actually. I think the best way I can say it is it was a ride. It
was like internet culture.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, you just slammed that. It's like internet culture meets American Psycho with a bunch of random.
I was going to say that. I was watching it. I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of, this is the second way out of a wine glass.
Well, I thought there was going to be a big twist at the end where we'll get to it, but I didn't know that everything was actually happening, but we do find out at the end. We'll get to that. Yeah. So basically, Kurt Krunkle, was that his name?
Kurt Kunkel. I think it's Kunkel.
Kunkel.
I think so.
Is a content creator, and he makes vlogs and he's one of those. There's a couple people that do it. Ice Poseidon is one. There's Andy Milonakis, who you may remember. He's the guy. You don't remember Andy Milonakis? He was on he's the kid. He's the adult man who looks like a kid.
Who? Gary Coleman?
No, he's got that disease, I believe. But his name is Andy Milonakis. You'd probably recognize him to see him.
Oh, the kid from Waiting.
Yeah, he's in Waiting, still waiting. Does the raps.
I think he's Greek, actually.
Milonakis.
No, all those Greeks, their last names always start with S.
Well, Milonakis starts with an M.
No, did I say start with? I meant ends with.
Ends with. Yes. Actually. Anyway. That's a crazy bold generalization, Caleb, but I'll accept it. So he's kind of...
I'm half Greek.
That's cool. I'm 1% Italian, I found out. Thanks to 1.4% Italian.
Only?
According to my 23andMe, yeah.
Did you do the ancestry thing?
I did 23andMe, and I'm French-Irish. Predominantly Irish.
What were you before you checked with them? What did you know you were before you checked with them?
Just mixed European. I thought...
You didn't know what you were? You knew you were something?
English, Irish, Scottish on my mom's side, and I always thought that my...
English, you mean like Britain English? Like Britain?
Yeah. Yeah, and I always thought that on my dad's side there might have been some Métis, but it didn't come back as any average.
No?
So, nothing. Nothing. I'm a fucking colonizer, as colonizer as it gets.
That's okay.
Sorry, Indigenous people. This is not my platform for this. Okay, so Kurt is played by the what's his face from Stranger Things. Do you have his name pulled up?
Um, I was trying to be professional with this live, and I was trying to have things ready. It's Joe something. Joe.
Joe Keery.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people, a bunch of cameos in this.
Really?
Yeah, Misha
I didn't.
Barton.
I didn't notice any of them.
You didn't notice any of them? Okay, first of all, Bobby, right? That's the kid from Vine. He was a Vine star.
Oh, he's an actual like influencer.
Not so much anymore. I think he's actually. It seems like he's transitioned into acting, but he literally was a Vine star 6 years ago. I don't know if you've ever seen the Vine that's like, "Hey, my name's Kyle, and I never fucking learned how to read." That's him. I'll send it to you later. So Frankie Grande is Ariana, the guy with the three party animals. The two they get like decapitated and drilled. Misha Barton from
yeah.
Misha Barton is from the OC. She's the one that gets drilled, not sexually, but with a literal drill.
You say Misha Barton?
Yeah, that was her.
She was the main girl from OC. Do you know what's fucking weird? I watched OC this morning.
Oh really? Did you recently start it over or something? Because what's up, James?
So,
I was thinking about rewatching that show.
Spring cleaning. I did some spring. I used to sit over there, and in the background you could see all my DVDs when I sat over there, and I'm pretty sure you made a comment. It's like, oh, that must fucking upset your OCD or whatever, and it did. But I couldn't do anything about it at the time. Well, I could have. There's just so much going on. I had to focus on one thing at a time. It was hard. But I think I got drunk and high the other night, and I organized my shit a little bit more. And anyway, so I found the OC, and I decided to watch it today just because. So that's
California, here we come.
Was it the one that got in the front seat? Was it the one that got in the front seat?
Yeah.
I didn't even. She looks bigger or something.
She looks like she aged and didn't get any plastic surgery. Like I don't think.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I think after she was on the OC.
Girls out there, take it from me. You don't need to fucking follow what the magazines or all this other crazy shit. Fuck all that shit. Au natural is fucking.
Well, there's no such thing as magazines anymore, but Instagram will suffice.
Right.
Okay.
This face above my face, he's right. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous fucking beard.
It's the longest my beard has easily ever been. Okay. So the dude, I've thought about it. The dude in that scene is Frankie Grande, who's Ariana Grande.
That guy? The Mario guy?
No.
Oh, no. The guy with the blonde hair.
Yeah, the gay dude with the two girls that are going to a party.
Right, okay.
Clearly all coked out. So that was Frankie Grande, who is Ariana Grande's shitty brother, who's actually famous from being on some reality show.
And having a last name.
John DeLuca, who played Mario, I recognize him. I think he might have just been a personality, like from movies and stuff. He was in Staten Island Summer. Hey, have you seen that one? That's a pretty good movie. I think you'd like it. No. It's written by Colin Jost from SNL.
Staten Island Summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. And then Misha Barton, Sashir Zameda, who of course is from Saturday Night Live. Kyle Mooney was in it, who's from SNL. And then there's just some other people, like the guy, the racist guy.
Is Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy at the beginning, Frederick, is Linus Phillips, and he looked familiar, but
douchebag guy with the white power?
Yeah, the super racist guy.
That was so as far as the movie is concerned, that was a good way to start it because you're like, oh fuck this guy kind of thing.
Well, you're like, fuck all these people except for Misha Barton and Sashir Zameda. Those are the only two redeeming characters in the whole movie. He still ends up, and kind of Uno, she didn't really do anything wrong, except for she shoots a cop in the face, which is pretty great.
That was an
Um,
accident. She was high on fucking. So okay, so let me ask you a quick question. I couldn't when I was and I watched it twice. What I think he did was, like he went behind and under the label and into the bottle, injected the shit, and then put the hot glue gun to steal it. But the way I watched it, the way it came off, it kind of seemed like he put something on the label so that when you touch it, you get it or whatever. Do you know what I'm
I
talking?
didn't. Yeah, I do. I didn't really get that. I got it more as like he was able to inject it into the bottle and have it not come back out because it's
Well,
like a
because
needle.
afterwards he says like, "Ooh, waterproof," or well, he's like airproof. Well, actually, so man, there's so many fun little things. The way this movie was shot. Oh, so this is a question. Um, were there real cameras used, or were they
I was.
all like little like mini cameras or whatever?
I don't know for sure, but I don't think there was. If it wasn't shot on cell phones, if it was all still shot on regular film or digital or whatever,
Yeah.
it was at least. I don't think there was one scene that wasn't from the point of view of either a computer screen, a cell phone, or like somehow viewing it through a device. I don't think there was like ever just like a
Just a camera.
traditional movie shot. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Yeah.
because the whole thing. Well, let's run down the movie now.
Well, because okay, so yeah, exactly. Because it starts out with him from his phone, and then it kind of it expands to him and his little mini cameras that he has in his car. Do you remember? Do you know what car was? Was it? I don't remember. That was one thing I didn't check out. I should have checked it out. But he
I know
had
the second car, the later car was a Coupe de Ville, but I didn't.
the one with where he killed the Indian or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or well,
So
actually, we don't know if he killed him. We
we
assume.
haven't. Let me just first say what the like. We haven't really gotten to what the premise of the movie is. So
My
basically,
apologies. My apologies. Jace Man, tell people what's up.
this dude wants to become a big star on social media. He ends up driving Uber. It's called Spree. It's the name of the movie. It's kind of a double entendre because he goes on a killing spree under the guise of it being called The Lesson. And the lesson is supposed to be like, here's how you get famous on social media. And really, it's by killing everybody that gets into your car. But the thing is he has kind of a God complex about it because he doesn't like he has a sense of morality. The only people he's like trying to kill, like the only people he's trying to be like, hey, drink the water,
The shitty one.
um, are the shittier people.
The douchebag.
Uh, yeah. Later in the movie, he straight up gets a gun and wants to murder somebody, but up until that point, he's just doing these small poisoning murders. Like you were saying, he injects the bottles with poison. It's a movie, so I didn't think about how that worked too hard. He's literally using a needle and injecting it. You said you watched
That
it twice.
works.
It
That
wasn't
works.
fully.
You fucking
That worked for
you
me.
pierce a plastic bottle and then you cover that little hole piercing with some glue because hot glue, like a hot glue gun, it's all clear, right? My mom has a hot glue gun. I know how it works. You put like a little dab, like you said, can't even tell.
Perfect. So then we get the first half of the movie is basically a series of him meeting these people and killing them, but they're all shit. The first person, like we said, is Frederick, who gets in and he's like, "Aren't you proud to be white? Why don't you say it?
Uh,
Why don't you say I'm proud to be white?" And he's like, I don't
what
really want to say that.
he's like, no, no, I don't want to do that. White, black, Asian, we're all the same. I think he says. 1 second. Keep talking to the people.
So So then Kurt's like, drink the water. He drinks the water. He fucking dies. And he takes him to the desert because they're in Los Angeles. He takes him to the outskirts of L.A. and
Yeah.
dumps the body.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, it kind of is revealed that he's been taking them all to the same place. We'll get to that. So
Can I
then,
say one thing? One thing. Can I say one thing?
well, you're the co-host. You got to say lots of one things.
Yo, movie title call out. 4 minutes 54 seconds into the movie.
Okay.
So some movies say the name of the movie in the movie.
Oh, you did the thing where you found the part where he said the thing. It was 4 minutes.
It was 4 minutes and 54 seconds. So the way he said it was like, something about my spree ride or whatever, but he said the word spree at 4 minutes and 54 seconds into the movie.
Fantastic. You should do that for every movie.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure last week.
So I was going to say it to you off camera, but since we're talking about it now, I think that might be something that we could add to our thing. If there is a movie title call out and when it.
Because I'm pretty sure they didn't say, I'm the rebel without a cause. In Rebel Without a Cause. I'm pretty sure they were like, Scrooged. Hey, here's the thing. I've been watching these pirated versions of It's Always Sunny, so they have the ads from FX. A couple years ago, they made a TV movie version of Scrooge. Of maybe this year we do that. It's got Guy Pearce, I think, plays Scrooge, but it looks like
the guy that makes the movies.
No, that's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. Okay. Guy Pearce. He's the guy from Memento.
Yeah, I think he's the main character, and it looks real supernatural, like it would fit in with like all the supernatural movies of the last few years. I'm gonna go. I don't know if it's a TV series or a movie. I'm pretty sure it's a TV movie. I want to watch it. So then the next person that gets in is Andrea. She's a real estate agent. She's just completely ignoring Kurt, and he almost immediately is like, drink some water. She immediately drinks the water, rest in peace. Then Kurt's dad calls.
Shout out to David Arquette.
David Arquette plays his dad in this movie, and it's great because the last three things I've seen David Arquette in were the movie we watched, Sisters Brothers. No, sorry, he was in Bone Tomahawk that I watched before this. Never mind. Bone Tomahawk. Then You Can't Kill David Arquette about his research.
That's a new documentary or something, right?
Yeah, it's about him getting into wrestling. It's very good.
Yeah,
highly recommend it.
I was
and then this.
I didn't check it out yet, but I was thinking about it.
It's good. It's really good.
You vouch for it? You vouch for it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think he redeemed himself in the professional wrestling world.
Yo, do you remember that movie? What was it called?
Ready to Rumble.
What's his face?
What?
Him and what's his face made a wrestling movie. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
I saw it like long ago. If you want to bring it back to, hey, did you see this one?
I hope so. I would like to watch that, but I'd hope you had seen that movie because they used to run that movie on TBS every day for like years. And then after it was on every day for years, it was on every week for years.
I'm pretty sure it was funny. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure it was funny.
It was funny when we were 14, so it's probably still funny. Because that's when it came out. It's like a late 90s, early 2000s movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kurt's dad calls. Then we get a tutorial about how to steal money from dead people that I don't super remember right now.
No. Well, it's a combination of stealing money / covering your
right
so that they don't know you're doing anything. So what he does, he takes their phone and he makes them do things because like they're dead, but he still has their body, so he can manipulate their body to thumbprint or face recognition, and then he'll message the person saying, "Hey, go fuck yourself," or whatever. I'll tip my driver $2. Go on.
Yeah. So now we get to the part with Mario, who's the biggest dickhead. He's like a classic LA douchebag, like bodybuilder looking guy. He
He
gets
calls
in.
out. He's like, he calls fucking fuck. What's Joe's name in the movie again? He calls him out. He's like, you fucking beta male.
He calls him an incel, like
You
almost
is.
immediately. He keeps calling him a bitch and a pussy and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and here's a little connection I made that I'm pretty sure is what was going on. So the first song you hear in the movie is very good, and the music throughout the movie is very good. I think here when he puts this mixtape on, it's Kurt's music is the soundtrack for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the credits, it's all different artists.
Yep.
It's all kind of new retro wave, hip hoppy kind of the kind of music I listen to, honestly.
Electric,
But
like electric or whatever.
yeah, like not quite techno, but like
Yeah.
newer, like outrun kind of music, like the music you hear in the movie Drive.
Drive was a dope movie. We'll come back to that
Like,
another episode.
yeah. So, oh, I think I got the American Psycho thing from somebody on the internet saying it's like Drive meets American Psycho, which I can kind of
Well, when
see.
I look at his
But both of
face,
those movies
when
are
he's
like
in the
so much
shower,
better than this one.
when he's in this after he confronts Bobby, the kid that he used to babysit, and he became like this big online sensation, I guess. Like he has a bunch of followers, so he kind of like he's kind of like so he used to babysit this kid, and then this kid kind of became something, and so he's been like kind of like in his shadow, or not in his shadow, but like following his footsteps, trying to get online famous as well.
Yeah.
And when after that scene, and he's in the shower and he's all bloody, that's what reminded me of Psycho, or American Psycho. And also the fact, like, talking about music and stuff.
Yeah, later, like the part of the movie where he cuts up Jared Leto in American Psycho, and then he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Mario's just being a dick. At one point, he's like, just fucking traffic, fix it. You're the fucking spree
Why is
driver.
there
I'm just
traffic at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? I don't know,
fix it.
because you're in LA. There's traffic 24/7 in LA. Get the fuck. You fucking live here, Mario. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So Sashir Zamata
You're on
plays
a ride
Jesse,
share.
who,
Oh, pick someone else up? Go fuck yourself.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, can we swear? Do we have like a? Is there like a viewer discretion? Do we have an
No,
age limit?
I don't know. Fuck, shit, all the swear words. Yeah, so Jessie gets in. She's played by Shazir Zamata, and she is a up and coming comedian in LA.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
who is she was good on SNL. I don't know if you ever caught her.
I
And the
never.
guy,
You know what? I'll be completely honest with you. And part of me feels a little bad, but part of me knows that new SNL isn't as good as old SNL. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't really watch new SNL that much.
fair enough. And also, she wasn't on it for very long. She was only on it for a few seasons.
That's okay.
But I feel like this role in the movie is similar to her real life
Character.
situation.
Yeah.
But she's not that famous, so whatever.
What you're saying.
So,
Oh, by the way, did you know that Drake produced or was one of the producers on the movie?
Drake?
Drake. Drizzy Drake from T. Dot, Toronto, Canada. Our boy Drake.
So was Logan Paul also involved in this movie? Because I noticed that he comes up in the image search for this movie.
Well, you just said that, and I'm looking at. So I have in the background on my computer here the movie just in case we need to talk about stuff, and I see his face. Maybe he's a producer, because the producer gives money, right? Is that what they do?
Pretty much.
So he might be. I didn't really look too deep into it, but I do see his face coming up. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get his ass knocked out by Mayweather or whatever the guy's name is.
I don't think that fight's gonna actually happen.
No. They're trying to do a boxing match.
I know he's trying to do a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather, but that's the dumbest thing ever because he's gonna get. He's
No,
only
no,
been
no, no, no,
fighting.
no, 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 no. Well, sort of. I mean, dumb, yes, but also apparently internet money. If you can get enough internet money, right? Basically, he's fucking making a killing off of internet money.
Yeah, I know that's well known.
And that's what, and I think that kind of segues into what this movie is. Well, the movie's not about internet money, but it's about internet like fame, internet. So like you were saying, views, followers, favorites.
Yeah, that's true. With our two viewers right now, I can't I can't help but feel like, uh, what do we do? You know,
You got to do
but
something.
got to do something. Maybe we should follow the lesson. And
What, you want to go kill someone?
no, you do it.
I'll do it.
Don't do it.
I'll do it.
Actually, don't do it because if you kill somebody for this thing, and then I'm implicated.
No, you know
Because they'll
what?
find this
No, but
exact
the thing is,
video and they'll be like, wait a second,
you know
this
what's
dude told him
perfect?
to do it and he did it, and now he's going to put everybody in jail.
No, but you know what's perfect about this? There's two of us, right?
Right.
And I mean, you're your person, I'm my person. But if I did something and we're connected, then your views or whatever, they just like, I'm not sure if this
Maybe.
comes out the same way I want it to, but like it just like blossoms.
Blossoms, buddy. Right. So, don't kill anybody. Um, okay, so Mario is pissed off that they have to go
They
pick
go
this
pick
person
up
up.
something else.
But with Uber, you can have ride sharing, which isn't. It's when you can go and multiple people can get in the same car.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You signed up for this. You wanted this to save $3. We're picking up Jesse." She gets in, and Mario
Whoa,
immediately
she
is
doesn't
like,
get in right away. For some reason,
"Right."
so they get there and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And then he's like, "Hey, what's up, girl?" or whatever the fuck he says. And then she's like, "Nah, cancel." And then he's like, "Oh, she canceled." And he's like, "Oh man, go get her, man. She's right over there. Go get her."
Yeah.
And so they go, they do get her in the end. But go on. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Right. So she does get in by him saying, "You know what? Like, just come on. I'll take you to where I need to go." Maybe Kurt was hoping that he could get another extra kill in, but what ends up happening is she's nice, and she's kind of nice to Kurt. She calls him. So Kurt's whole thing is called Kurt's World,
Right
and she
quick.
calls him
Right quick.
Squirt's World.
Part 3 is this glass. This is.
I don't
Part
think we're doing.
three.
I don't think we're going to be able to do an after show tonight.
Yeah, man.
Getting wrecked on Canadian Club. So she tries to take a water at one point, and Kurt's like, "Don't drink that."
Real. She gets real. Yeah.
And then they pull over, and Mario gets out, and then he fucking hits Mario with his car. And that whole bit is from the trailer, and I'm glad that I was able to see it in the context of the film.
Okay, so question. I don't think he hit him hard enough to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he backed
Well,
up, right?
here's the whole sequence of events.
No,
She gets out of the car, and hold on, I'm going to say what the sequence of events is.
No, Jace man.
She gets out of the.
No, Jace man. Before you get technical with me, let me spit you with some of these facts. Fucking Joe, aka our is it protagonist? Who's the main person? Protagonist. Yeah. He's like, yo, get out of my car if you're gonna puke, right? But he gets out, and then he reverses, right? You can't go very fast when you reverse, but he reverses. He hits him. He goes. He flops over the car. He goes on the front, and there's blood. I've been hit by a car, and take it from this face right here. That's not enough to kill. It's not enough to kill me. I'll tell you that much.
Well, here's the whole sequence of events from what I saw.
Okay,
She
tell
gets
me.
out of the car with the water in her hand, and she sprays it in his face first, which had the poison. That's when
Yeah,
he's
he
like, I
doesn't
don't
say
feel
anything.
so good.
Yeah,
I don't feel so good. He's like, get out of the car, I'm gonna puke.
yeah.
Then he backs up. Does he back up over him though, or does he back up and then
No,
run directly into him?
no. He backs up, hits him, and Mario goes over. He doesn't go under. He goes over and then onto the windshield front side, and there's blood. The thing that is like, I don't like being a nitpicker. I don't like being a nitpicker, but you can't reverse into someone hard enough to one, make them go over, and two, make them bleed and die on your windshield. That's just a nitpick, but don't mind me.
And
But
then
you
he
did
says
nice
that
to
he
the
says the
buddy.
great line that is, "Wow, are you guys seeing this?" And I got a laugh from that. And then
Yeah,
also
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
another. He pulls his phone out and he's like looking at something. And right before he
Were
goes to Google whatever, you see
were
on the
you
phone that he
watching?
was
Were you
Googling. Hold
watching
on a
the little?
second.
Were you watching the little messages? Like, did you
No,
watch?
when he pulls out his phone to look at it, he has been Googling how to get rid of dead bodies,
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious.
yeah.
All right, so it's nighttime now, and then we get a montage of Jesse doing comedy. Um, and Kurt stops at a gas station, and Bobby's razzing him for not breaking double digits still. He sees a cop. He gets nervous because of that. There's blood on the car, so he's trying to like keep that on the download.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. When he's at the gas station, like when the cops there, like first he's talking excited, but then he like kind of like it's like you know, and I dropped them off or whatever. And then he tries to walk in front of where the blood splatter is, like to hide it.
yeah. So then we get the whole thing with that with Bobby being like, "Remember the video I made of the homeless guy? It's all fake." And then they show a montage of this of on the internet several years ago. I think it still happens, but like influencers go out and they film themselves giving money to homeless people. It's very gross. It's very expletive and exploitive. And basically, Bobby gave up the goods. He was like, "It's all fake. So, are you really killing people, or is this real?"
Yeah,
Um, and then
yeah, for
and
a
then he
good.
calls Kurt's
And
content
so
boring.
when you were watching it, did you notice? Did you notice his views? Like if you watch his phone camera view or whatever, like the his channel or whatever, you can like throughout the movie you can see his views. Like it starts out as like one, two, it's two for a while, and then he connects to Bobby's channel or some shit. Like he makes it. He I guess Bobby has a bunch of viewers, right? And so when he goes to confront Bobby, and then connects his channel to his, and then gets all those views.
Yeah, I didn't notice that till later. I was looking for it the whole time, but the way that the views counter was the color of the views counter was actually like kind of lost in the like I couldn't make it
Well,
out until
that's
I
because
could.
there's always so many. Like, so the one thing I did like the way they edited the movie because it made it feel like what was going on, right? It made it feel like what was going on. But you have almost for every scene, I guess, every shot that you're looking at, you almost always have multiple screens to look at. And so like one screen is his phone, one screen is or like out of the whole screen, one section is his phone, one section is the car, another section is like let's say Bobby or whatever, or Uno, the chick that he goes the DJ chick or whatever that he goes to meet with his dad or some shit like that. And they
Yeah.
each have different viewers. Like like so because like each screen in the corner of it, like the same if we look at our shit, we have one viewer right now.
I'm pretty sure it's you. I'm pretty sure it's you. Yeah.
Anyway, go
So
on. I
I didn't
digress.
notice it until way later. But at this point, this is where he picks up Misha Barton, Frankie Grande, the other person who I've never heard of.
Misha,
And
I gotta
basically
go
he's
rewatch it now to see if that's her.
he
Like that blows
basically
my
go
mind.
he basically just takes them on a joyride, and then they're like, "We want to party," so he's like, "Well, I'll take you somewhere crazy," and he takes them to the like car graveyard, the impound lot.
Parents used to own it.
Okay, yeah.
He
He
did
takes them
that
there, and basically he's like, "Put your heads out the sunroof," and they do. And there's a couple times where you think they're gonna get like cut in half.
Yeah.
And but really, what happens is
How did they miss
he
that?
drives
That
them
that was
around.
actually one question I had. So they're
I don't
driving,
know.
right? They're driving. There's two of them out the sunroof. There's the girl in the front seat, and 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 they're driving, and then it looks like there's like a wire or something, and it looks like it's low, and it looks like they're gonna get decapitated, but then I think the girl sees it and then pulls them. I think.
Yeah. Well, they miss it. Also he drives through a fence while her head's out the window too, and she ducks back in. So
Yeah.
that was a quick bait and switch. But what happens is they stop, and then there's these pit bulls because it's a junkyard, and the pit bulls run up. He traps them in. He traps them in the sunroof with like
Well,
the
yeah.
window blocker, and
Yeah.
then they get eaten by the dog, so blood goes everywhere. And then he just fucking pulls out a drill
Well,
that
the drill that
and just
Ariana
drills
Grande's
me.
husband was like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
drill boy." And
just
he's like,
drills
"Hey, don't
Misha
touch
Barton
that."
right in the fucking
No,
face.
no.
And it was, I thought this movie was going to be more graphic, but that scene was really brutal. But it wasn't graphic, and I kind of like
That was probably the most graphic scene out of the whole movie.
it. Really was. And I was kind of dreading watching this because I have to go into horror movies with a certain, like in a certain headspace.
Don't do that.
Uh,
Don't go. Let me just say this to you as a person. Let me just say this to you as a person. Don't go into any movie with any headspace. I know it's really hard to do, um, but just clear your mind of everything and just go in fresh and just let the movie tell you a story.
Fair enough. But sometimes horror movies can be a lot to handle. For instance,
What?
Midsummer.
A lot to handle. We all know that shit. We all know movies are fake.
Fair enough. But did you watch Midsummer?
Midsummer?
Yeah.
What's that? No, I didn't watch it.
Did you see Hereditary?
Hereditary was fun. Hereditary was a good movie.
Midsummer is the next movie after Hereditary by the same.
Same thing.
No, not the same universe, but it's his next movie, and it's even more
Okay.
fucked up than Hereditary, in
Okay.
my opinion. I watched Midsummer
I
first, and
remember
Hereditary didn't even
Old
affect
Man is
me.
fucking
Like it didn't
crazy.
even. I watched the whole movie, and I was just like, that wasn't that bad. It's fucked, but like Midsummer messed me up for a month.
Okay, gimme.
Hey, have you seen this one?
Hey,
Um,
have you seen this one?
so basically, what happens now
So the
is
junkyard kills them. He goes to the gas station. He's like, "Yo, did you see that? I got a 3 KO or whatever he
yeah.
said."
No, okay, yeah. No, he goes to Bobby's. This is
No,
where he goes to
no.
Bobby's.
Before he goes to Bobby's, he's like, "Yo, did you see that?" And then Bobby's like, "Yeah, man, fuck." Like basically, Bobby calls him out for not doing a good job at being a content creator.
Yeah, and the other thing too that was weird, they did a thing here where you think that Kurt's going to Jesse's house, but
Yeah,
then it turns out that it was Miles showing up, played by Kyle Mooney, and it was him actually going to Bobby's place. So
yeah.
he goes to Bobby's, and Bobby just berates him for a solid 5 minutes, and
And
then he
then,
fucking just stabs him. He just fucking stabs him in the guts.
so let's talk about that. This let's talk about this character for a second. First off, like at the beginning, he just wanted followers, right? He wanted attention or whatever. He wasn't getting it. This fucking kid he used to babysit gets like has an online presence or whatever. And so he kind of like, and there's like before this part, there's a few times where he tries to like try to crash in on his like live streams or whatever, right? Like trying to like he like pops in on his thing and he's like, oh man, like don't double live me or whatever the fuck he says. Like, you know, try because
Don't double
he's
dip
trying,
my live stream.
yeah, exactly. And 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 so I'm trying to think, I'm trying to put my head in this crazy person's head. And I'm thinking, one, he's upset or pissed off or whatever. And two, he wants what he has. And so if he invades his place and then also continues with what he's doing. So this is like, this movie takes place in a night, right? Like this is like one night or whatever, right?
One afternoon into an evening, yeah.
Yeah. And so the lesson the lesson is how to get viewers. And the way to get viewers is to make shock content, basically. And so he kills he kills Bobby. And if you watch the little text messages that come up on the screen, like did you watch this? Like, so I tried really hard to like look at the little messages that came up and
You
shit.
watching it a second time, you have that more insight because I was trying to watch. I caught little bits and pieces. I really liked it when people were donating to the channel, and when you
Yeah.
donate to a channel on Twitch, you can sometimes they have it set up so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the things that were popping up were the way he was communicating with Bobby throughout the movie. Bobby became like a character in that he was the only person watching the stream.
Yeah.
And he was donating like $1 to say like this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
A bunch, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
So so that scene's happening. Meanwhile, Jesse and Miles are having a conversation. I think Miles is kind of like wants to be her manager / he's another comedian who's there's kind of a parallel.
I'm pretty sure he wants to get in her pants.
No, yeah, totally. But that comes with the whole like.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a comedian.
He's a fame leech. He wants to be her manager. It's kind of parallel to what's happening with Kurt and Bobby.
Yeah.
He's being a fucking weirdo.
Very good point. Yeah.
But yeah, so after he kills Bobby, he sees that he has 100 followers.
No. Rewind a little bit. So he kills Bobby, right? And then he's basically in Bobby's house at this point, right? And then he has access to Bobby's shit, right? And so he goes on Bobby's computer and he connects Bobby's stream or whatever the fuck it is to his shit. So he basically steals all of Bobby's viewers so that he ends up getting like 50,000 plus viewers right away before he does anything, right? Like he gets like a huge influx of viewers, and
he like logs into Bobby's account as himself and then switches everything over to Kurt's world.
Yeah, exactly.
So now he's got all of Bobby's followers, and he plans on going to the Jesse Comedy Show. We don't know at this time what he's going to do, but he's got the gun. It's not going to be good.
I thought he was going to shoot her, and he didn't.
No. So Kurt's dad is trying to get him to pick him up to take him. This is like a new subplot that happens here, where we're going to meet David Arquette again.
Pick me up, man. I'll fucking give you views. Or no, he's like, hey, man, there's this chick. You can get views if you come.
Yeah.
I think is what he
said. If
you
come, I'm opening for this DJ. If you come with me, she's a big DJ. If you can get her to tag you on her shit, you'll get more followers. So he goes with them. It turns out it's just his dad acts like a fucking dickhead.
His dad is a dickhead.
Yeah. His dad finds the gun at one point. They run several red lights, and cops come driving by at one point, and they're all freaking out. But then it turns out the DJ show is at a fucking strip club, And the reason why why Uno, the headliner DJ, is famous is because she had a sex tape.
What am I supposed to do? Not have a sex tape?
I don't know, just make a sex tape and become famous off of it.
I'll do it.
I think you have to have a modicum of fame before you do the sex tape, and then the sex tape.
Man, you want to make a sex tape with me?
Nope, I don't.
All right. I guess I'll just hear that answer from everyone.
Well, you don't walk around asking people if you want to make a sex tape with them. Because Kurt tries that with Jesse at one point in this movie, and she's like, fuck no. Are you kidding me right now? So he tries to get the tag from Uno, and she just tries to blow him off, like not sexually, just like, fuck out of here. And then he's like, look at all the followers I have, and she's like, fine, I'll do it. And then she doesn't do it. And he's standing there going, well, I'll just, as soon as you let me know that you've tagged me in your video, and it's just so sad.
He's a little bitch. So that's one thing that, like, drove me. He was a little bitch about, I mean, that's a strong word. There's a strong way to phrase it. But, like, he was very aggressive about trying to get followers. And
well, that's kind of what you got to do. It sucks, but you have to solicit yourself like that.
Hey,
so,
how about this? Hey, Jace Man, what about this? What about reverse psychology? Hey, all you people out there, don't fucking watch us.
That doesn't work either because they see right through it. I've tried it. So Uno then asks Kurt to take her to a taco truck, and you think that things are going to get a little bit better, but nope. So he gets out to get the tacos for Uno. She takes a bunch of sips of water and passes out.
The tampered water.
The tampered water. And then Kurt strikes the fuck out with a girl in line.
He was talking to her. He's like, "Hey, everyone can."
And at first he's being a little bit charming, and then she gives him an inch, and he tries to take a mile, and then she's just like, "Ugh." So Kurt goes back to the car.
You put it perfectly.
Kurt goes back.
Try to take a mile. You put it perfectly.
Kurt goes back to the car. Fucking, she's passed out. Then the cops show up and start being like, "Get out of the car, sir." And he's trying to make up a story about how Uno is passed out because she's drunk. He's just trying to get her some food. And then while the cops are issuing a field sobriety test to Kurt, she wakes up, freaks out, and shoots the fucking one of the cops.
I kind of like that was kind of one of my favorite scenes.
It was a well-produced scene. Probably one of the better ones in the movie. And then what happens is Kurt freaks out. One of the cops goes to his car. Kurt jumps in the car. She runs too. Uno fucking bails. He gets in the car and starts driving up the highway in the wrong direction.
I like that view where the cars were coming at us.
Just coming at him.
And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
So he drives. He goes. This is one of the moments where I was like, is this movie like just all happening in his head? Because he goes, I gotta lose the cops. I gotta get out of this situation. And he immediately loses the cops, gets out of the situation, drives under a bridge.
He goes into the what's that word for bums?
He goes into a homeless encampment where he drives underneath the overpass, and he drives into this tent city basically. And he's like, I'll just fucking run over all these homeless people.
Well,
but he hits like one tent.
They have no internet presence. They basically don't exist. Like when you listen to the way he talks about them, it's like they're not even alive because they have no presence. They're not. No one knows they exist.
So he hits something, and the car fucking flips.
Yeah.
And then it's like, holy shit. So, the next scene that we get is actually Miles on stage doing stand-up and bombing. He does it like we're at the comedy show now. He does his bad set, barely getting a laugh, doing a bunch of like sexist dumb jokes. And then Jessie comes out and she goes on a tangent about how social media is bullshit. She met Kurt tonight. She didn't like the way that he was like trying to get these views by begging for them.
She basically called out what fucking douchebags do to girls with the
Yep.
whole, oh man, why don't you smile more? You look better when you smile bullshit.
Which
Well,
Mario did
I
to
don't
her
want to
when they
fucking
were in the car
smile at you
together.
because you don't make me want to smile. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to say this right now to all the girls out there. Fuck all the guys that tell you to smile and all that shit. They're fucking douchebags. Go tell them to fuck off. Tell them I said to fuck off.
Yeah.
And if they have a
So
problem with it, tell them to message me because
cool.
go fuck yourself. Don't fucking tell me what to do, basically, is the message of that fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I really I've seen that happen before. Someone just living their life, right? And then this fucking guy, I don't know why I did the bunny ears on a guy, but this guy makes these comments and he's like, why don't you smile more? Like, go fuck off. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, don't tell me how to run my life. Stop telling me what, like, I'm, girl power.
Girl power. So then what happens is Kurt shows up with the gun and he's holding the gun. But then when he sees her do this rant about the situation, he decides not to shoot her. So then
she calls him out. Yeah, she calls him out.
So then we get a little note from the radio that's like, Spree has suspended service for the rest of the night because of the Spree killer. So now the word is getting out that there's somebody out there killing. And then Kurt takes a go-go, which is like the Uber to Lyft difference. And he's being a real weirdo to the driver. And then we go back. We're getting this thing where it's going back and forth between Kurt's story and Jesse's story. Miles is trying to hook up with drunk Jesse at this point, which is to what you're saying. You've seen many girls get hit on drunkenly, and it's gross.
And she's like, "Fuck you!"
And then he tries to call a Spree, and then we find out again Spree's down, so they call a go-go. And it turns out that Kurt had killed his go-go driver, and he's the one that picks up Jesse in a twist of fate.
I like how
he runs outside and bails on Miles. So now they're in the car together, and we're going into like the final scenario. We have about 5 minutes left here, so let's just finish off what happens at the end of the film here.
He said, I like that you didn't drink that bottle of water.
Yeah,
talking about.
It's filled with poison.
Yeah,
but he doesn't say that, and she doesn't know it. So, yeah, and Miles was left in the dust too, which I liked that she did. So she finally realizes it's Kurt, and he reveals he was at the show, the comedy show, and then he starts to drive west, or east instead of west, the wrong direction. And she's like, "Take me home! Like you're going the wrong way."
And you home.
He starts ranting about love.
No, not your home, my home.
Yeah, he starts ranting about love and like what love means, and like maybe we should have a sex tape and we'll get famous. And she's like, "Let me out of the car." And then what ends up happening is he takes her to his house where he lives with his dad, I guess, and he drives the fucking car.
No.
Well, she drives it.
Rewind. He takes her to the construction place that his family owns or whatever. She puts her out on the field.
Right.
Into the car to run her over, and then I think so. The way that I saw it was he's in the back seat, and she pulls out a phone cord because he's talking all kinds of nonsense, and she wraps the phone cord around her hands and fucking chokes him out. So then the car stops. Yeah.
And then
he stops it. He stops it to stop her.
He gets up and punches her. He knocks her the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then that's when he takes her to the field, and he does fuck, marry, kill with her, and
everyone says kill. Well,
it's a resounding kill. So by a massive margin. So the phone keeps falling off of it, like he's trying to do this thing. He's trying to drive at her, but he keep the phone that's facing his face keeps falling off the dashboard. Yeah. So he keeps putting it up and then driving a little bit forward. And then
she's missing. So he gets out to try and find her. And then if you notice the So one of the messages that comes up in the live stream is like, bro, why the fuck do you get out? You're a fucking idiot for getting out of the fucking car, which
Yeah,
he
yeah,
fucking is. But he gets out of the car to try and find her, and she sneaks around and gets into the car.
and right, sorry, and then she tries to hit him, and she drives through his house, through the wall, and
Yeah,
that's when we find out that the dad's home. He's
yeah,
like, he's found the syringes,
yeah.
but there was a part earlier in the movie where
His
he
mom.
talked about his dad's baggies. I think his dad might be a heroin junkie also.
Yeah.
So the stuff that he was putting in the water might have actually been heroin. A shit ton of it. I don't know if it was
Do you
enough
think
to make people.
heroin makes someone get fucked up like that? I don't know
Well,
those drugs. I don't know those kind of drugs. I know weed and
if you
alcohol.
overdose on heroin, you'll die in a similar fashion. And when Una wakes up, she's like she comes out of something, right? Like she didn't get fully dosed.
True.
So
True.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it might have been heroin or some sort of opioid that he puts in, and it's not poison. So maybe the people he took, besides the ones he like explicitly killed, the people that got poisoned, maybe
Yeah.
they didn't die. You know what I mean? So anyway, they have a struggle. What ends up happening is he ends up in front of the car and she ends up back in the driver's seat, and she drives the car right into him. And to go back to what you were saying about unrealistic bits, she pins him against the wall and then just lays on the gas, and then blood spurts everywhere, which that's not
It doesn't
also
make
not how
sense.
that.
It's just his legs, if anything.
Yeah. At this point, the feed has 55,000 viewers,
Yeah.
concurrent viewers,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So Kirk gets, before all that
They
happens at the
don't
end, Kirk gets
have
the gun, shoot their
55
dad.
viewers yet.
We find out that fucking Kurt's mom actually got killed very early in the movie. She was the first person to get killed.
Yeah.
He was testing out. I think he was testing out the poison on his mom. Might have been the heroin. I don't know. Anyway, so he's still alive, sort of. Kurt's still alive, pinned to the wall. She bashes his face to death and then takes a selfie with it, which is fucked.
That's because
But then she gets even more.
They said take a selfie with him. It's like
Yeah.
she had his phone. So this was the part that like she smashed her phone, right? Because she was done with online shit. And then he's like chasing her or whatever. And then she ends up getting his phone. And then so she sees his messages. And one of the messages says, take a selfie with him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, prove it. Like, you know, tits or get the fuck out. Whatever the
So we get a post, like a during the credits or right before the credits montage of her basically denouncing social media, getting more and more famous from this. She stopped the spree killer, and yeah, what ends up happening is Reddit and 4chan end up idolizing Kurt because, of course,
and they
they're
make the
fucking
movie.
yeah. So yeah, that was Spree. We have about 2 minutes left here. Kalen, if you were to give this movie a rating, what would you give it, buddy? How do you feel?
As
Quick,
random as this live has been, it hasn't even been that random. It's been pretty concise, but there's been a little bit of tangents here and there. But to bring it back to your question, because this is a live, this is, hey, did you see this one yet?
Hey, did you see this one?
Spree. And if I was gonna give it a rating, okay. If I do want to say everyone go watch the movie because it's a fun watch. Rating, we're on a 5 scale rating, right?
That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, 5. So 5 scale rating. I want to give it. I definitely give it a 3.5. Like definitely a solid 3.5.
Cool. Yeah, I'm feel similarly. I give it a 3.2.
Okay.
I thought it was really well done. It did feel kind of like a internet movie,
It was.
but it was a really compelling story, and it was funny and kind of heartwarming for being a weird horror movie. Yeah,
There was
I
a
had a good time
message.
watching
The
it.
thing that did it for me
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the message.
good
There
message.
was a message tied into all of it. It was crazy. It was totally crazy, but there was a message. We're like we and I mean we're talking we're on a live feed right now.
The
Like
irony is palpable.
like don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna kill people to make you guys watch our little live views. I like doing this because it's fun. If you guys watch it, even better. But the message behind, like the underlying message behind it, the thing that I like. So before, okay, I didn't even know about this movie. You told me about this movie, and then I was like, oh, let me check this out. And thank you for telling me about it. But all that shit aside, the like life right now is so okay. Let's get super real. Um, Back in the day, people could afford certain things and work a certain lifestyle. That shit isn't possible anymore. You like fucking you have to like live with your family to be able to just live at all. You have like not and I say have to, you don't have to, but like fucking to make an internet presence and have a following is kind of the new celebrity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And which is what he was like. So okay, so let me ask you this, because his thing was the lesson, right? And his lesson was how are you going to get the most views. He ended up dying at the end of it. Do you think he thought about, oh, I'm probably gonna
No, because
die?
he's an insane person. That's the thing.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Well, throughout the whole movie, he's dead behind the eyes, and what he thinks what he's doing, he thinks is totally just. But
He's justified.
it's
He's
his moments of
justified in his
humanity that come through. It's his moments of humanity that come through that make me wonder if he does think about ultimately what the outcome of this is. But it's the situation where somebody goes on a shooting spree and then kills himself. I don't think he thought he was going to make it out of the day alive.
right.
Honestly, he was either going to get caught by the cops and get thrown in jail forever,
Yeah.
or he was going to go down a hail of gunfire, which he basically does.
Yeah.
But it's weird because his character is kind
But
of
either
inconsistent
way,
throughout the movie. Just
either
one
scenario,
second, dude.
those scenarios, he gets internet famous. He gets that internet money.
That's true. So on that note, that's been our podcast for tonight. We're at time. So thank you for watching and listening. This has been. Hey, have you seen that one? We watched tonight. We watched the
Hey,
movie
see
Keery.
this one?
So for Kaylin, I'm Jason.
Are we gonna have an after show?
Sure. You're supposed to say for Jason, I'm Kaylin. I'm trying to start a thing.
Okay, do it again.
For Kaylin, I'm Jason.
For Jason, I'm Kellen.
Have a good night and Godspeed.